right. Welcome very much. Welcome to Long Island Nightlight Interviews. I am Lou, and I am here with Harold, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Okay. But I'm here with Harold, who's representing the band Circle the City. They are an alt rock foursome. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm getting all my facts straight on Circle the City.
Yeah.
They are, according to their bio, they create their music with the backdrop of Lake Huron, which I think is pretty awesome. So this is a band from Ontario, Canada, and I was just saying before, this is a milestone interview because we're leaving the United States for the first time. So if you'd like to introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about the band and who the members are and what their roles are.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Harold. I play guitar in the band Circle the City. We are based out of Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. It's kind of near Detroit, I guess, like a little bit north of, about an hour north of Detroit. So we're a four-piece, myself on guitar, Kevin Toms on drums, and Melissa Miller is our vocalist. We have kind of session bass players play with us.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we had a permanent bass player, but he kind of lived a couple hours away, so it just made it difficult for rehearsal and writing and all that. So myself and Kevin kind of handle writing duties on bass, and then we have someone sit in with us for gigs.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So now I was reading up on you guys a little bit. Just to talk about your music in general a little bit. I saw that there's a varied influences from different genres, and I saw jazz in there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then when I was listening to your latest release, Animals, I got to like the breakdown part, and it was like just some real pretty real pretty music in there. Yeah. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. Whatever that bio was pretty accurate, like I said, as far as that song goes. So maybe we can talk about Animals a little bit, which is your latest release. I know I got a hold of it late June, but maybe you could just fill us in, release date and all that kind of thing. And
yeah, so that song did come out in June. It would have been late June. I believe it was June 22nd, I think. Yeah, that song, like instrumentally, Kevin, our drummer, came forward with a bass line idea, which is the bass line in the verse and in the verses, and it was just kind of written from there. I kind of that breakdown you're talking about, the acoustic guitar jazz part, was just this riff I was just playing over and over again. I was taking some jazz lessons at the time. And I don't know, these chords were I just had something with them, and we kind of just threw everything at it. It was just pieced together different riffs, and then I wrote the lyrics and melody to it, vocal melody, and then just kind of worked it out with Melissa, our singer, on kind of how it should sound. And it was kind of influenced by a couple songs from bands that I'm a big fan of. One in particular called Closure in Moscow, which is an Australian band that everyone should check out. Yeah, so that's kind of the gist of that song. The lyrics are kind of just about the lack of communication in many different relationships, social constructs and personal relationships, and that's kind of the gist of the song, I suppose.
You've anticipated a few of my questions, which is really
sorry about that.
No, which is really cool. Like I was going to ask about who handles the lyric writing, and you spoke about that, and then I have the word miscommunication in huge letters because that seemed to be a big theme in this song or whatever. So, you kind of address both of those things.
Yeah.
Do you always write the lyrics, or is that like a collaborative thing, or?
No, it's not. So like we've had many, like if you've checked out some of our music, if you had the chance to, you'll notice that it's always a female voice on there, but we've had many different singers.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Not necessarily by design,
Sure.
just
Sure.
life happens.
Yep.
And so no, primarily it's never been me. Like I have on a couple songs, I suppose, and but all of our other songs were written by the singers in
Gotcha.
the band at the time. Yeah.
I just think that that's interesting. Being a songwriter myself, to sit down with with a vocalist and kind of come up with the song together rather than writing lyrics for your own singing.
Right, right,
That's
right. And that's
cool.
generally how it was. And I would actually prefer that. But
Yeah.
yeah, Melissa is really cool, and she's she wants to contribute vocals, but not necessarily write. I don't know. So we were just like, all right, I'll do it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Like I said, I find the writing process of all the bands I communicate with and artists really fascinating because everyone's got their own approach.
Right.
Everyone has their own sort of collaborative way, and like I said, I like to hear about the interaction of the members and how they pass ideas back and forth and everything like that. So, you specifically, what influences do you draw from, like musically? I mean,
Um,
you mentioned one of the groups before, an
yeah.
Australian, and you can mention them again if you want to plug them
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, so in terms of bands, Closure in Moscow is a band that I stumbled on to, I want to say late 2021, and have just been obsessed with them ever since. Another big influence of mine is the Mars Volta, which is
Okay.
actually where we get our band name from. And then last but not least, my absolute favorite band is a Canadian band called I Mother Earth. They were kind of big in the 90s. They're prog rock. I don't know. They've put together a bunch of different styles. Those are my three main influences. And then, like I love jazz guitar, I love blues, and I just try to keep it interesting. So
Sure. No, this time around, I actually took notes. So I've Closure in Moscow, Mars Volta, of course, I've heard of,
right.
and I Mother Earth. So I'm
Yeah.
taking some notes down. So I'm going to follow up a little bit here, and
Cool.
yeah, and look into some of these things because ever since I've gotten involved with this radio station, I don't really listen to like mainstream music.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm consumed with with bands like maybe signed to smaller labels like yourselves, and that's where I find all the creativity. So I
Right.
appreciate
Right.
you
Yeah.
passing along some. And you guys are signed to SODEH Records, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's pronounced SODEH Records. I'm not too
Okay.
sure. I stumble on it myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're a label, a small label based out of Montreal, Canada.
Hmm.
But they've got, oh God, I don't even know how many bands they have now. Quite a few across the world.
Yeah.
And I think when we've been with them for 2 years. And I think initially when we started, they had more heavier bands on it or more metal bands, but I think they've since kind of they don't really stick to one genre that they
Yeah.
sign or whatever. Yeah, so we've been with them a couple of years. They help us get our music out. And
They do have an extensive reach, so it's
yeah,
cool. And I've gotten to be a little bit friendly with like the head of the Metal Incorporated branch and the head of the label, Sam.
yes,
And
yeah,
and they've been pumping me and my station up with great music for
yeah,
probably over a year now. So it's awesome. So
yeah.
and I see that label growing, and I see the stable of bands growing, and it's probably a great place to be as far as getting
Absolutely. I mean, they're pretty hands off. They don't. I mean, there's times we'll send them stuff like, here's a song we're thinking of, and they'll maybe kind of give some input. Whether we use it or not is up to us. But they're pretty hands off, and it's we do
Yeah.
what we want musically. So
Cool.
yeah.
Very good. That's awesome. Let me see if I got anything else on my list for you here. I asked you. Oh yeah. Well, of course, the question of what is next always comes up with. I mean, um, you just guys just released something, so it could be a break period. But what do you foresee coming next for Circle the City?
So we actually do have another single coming out. I want to say it's August 17th. So we'll be prepping promo for that very shortly, and then we are planning on releasing an EP that's yet unnamed. That will be coming out late October, and then after that, we're playing a festival this Friday in in our hometown. It's called Fool Fest. It's
Nice.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Other than that, just gigging, trying to gig, trying to learn how to market properly.
Yeah, right. You gotta wear every hat that there is, right? So.
Yeah. It's tough.
How do you go about producing your work? I'm just curious about that. Are you self-produced, or do you hire an engineer, all that kind of thing?
So yes, we hire engineers for mixing and mastering. But in terms of producing and engineering the recordings, I do the majority of it myself. And there's a few reasons for that. One, I'm just I really enjoy recording the whole creative process and trying to get good at that. The other reason is it's like I built a studio in my house, and it's financially it's easier for us, and it kind of fits. It's easier to have the members come over when it fits into their schedule, as opposed to trying to get 3 or 4 of us in a studio. So there's a few reasons why I do it, but I think
there's less pressure too when you're not paying for every single second.
Absolutely.
So you can kind of relax a little bit and do it in your own time.
Right. Yeah. And if we give ourselves enough time with the songs when we're tracking them, we kind of get to hear an idea of what it might sound like prior to mixing. And then if there's something we want to change, we generally have the time to go back and do that, and it's not costing us anything.
Cool.
So yeah,
very cool. No, I have I have enjoyed hearing about your band and learning about and getting to meet you a little bit, after communicating through, email and messenger and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate you coming on to LINL Radio. I know you got a new single coming in August, so you feel like popping on or calling in or something like that, just to talk it up a little bit. We could absolutely do something like that.
Sure.
In the meantime, listeners are going to have to be satisfied with the 3 Circle the City tracks that I do have in the library.
Cool.
Like I said, I do have a cool relationship with Sam, and I'm on their email list. So, whenever new releases come out from your label, I get them. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Awesome.
So, you don't even have to worry about sending it to me. It'll be
that's great. That makes it easier. But we're also on we're obviously on like streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, all that. And we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. None of us are really good at TikTok, but we're on there.
I just got into that recently myself. So yeah, it's a whole nother world over there.
Yeah, I can't really wrap my head around it yet, but whatever.
Yeah. No, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot to manage. I understand. So,
yeah.
You're learning like all kinds of business skills. It's not just writing a song. It's everything else.
Yeah. I mean, that's like now and thinking that that's a very small portion of it.
Yeah, it is. Well, thank you very much, Harold. Like I said, anytime you're welcome. Like I mentioned before, if you just chill out for a moment after I sign off. Thank you to anyone who's viewing this. If you're viewing this, you're going to have to tune into LINL Radio in order to hear some music from Circle the City, or you could go download and stream them at any time you want. Okay. But if you're listening to the audio this on the radio, I'm going to follow this up right now with some music from Circle the City. So hang on right now. Okay. All right.